What's going on, guys? Clint with Prestige Aquatics, back with yet another awesome fish room tour video. Today we're going to be doing a full fish room tour. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's get right into it. What better place to start than my favorite fish in the fish room? This is my wild caught Peacock bass, and he is just an absolute stud. He's probably about 9-10 inches right now, and I just really enjoyed keeping this fish. It's probably been one of the most rewarding fish that I've ever kept. He's really personable, and of course he won't turn to the side right now because Dad is in front and he thinks he's gonna get fed. But this has just been one of the best fish I've ever kept. Really looking forward to growing with this guy. He is in a 125-gallon tank by himself. I'll back up and get a look at the tank. So if you watched the How to Build a Fish Room series, aquarium racks, you saw me build this aquarium rack that he's on, and I had plans for another 125-gallon on the top, but right now he is in here by himself. So I highlighted this tank a couple times on the In the Fish Room series. These are my wild caught Dumerilii angelfish. And I know I'm starting the fish room tour with some wild fish, guys, but how can you not love these angelfish? I mean, they're absolute ravenous savages. I'll put my hand over the tank and you can just see them ready for some food, even though they've already been fed today. These guys, I got them, they were about dime sized, and now they're getting really big. Trying to get them to breed eventually, still growing them out as of right now. Right below them on this same rack, this is my 40 gallons rack, by the way. These are some cobalt blue angelfish, and they're about the same size. I got them at about the same size. They aren't quite the ravenous savages that the wild caught fish are, but they are some really cool fish. In here also, as you can see them scurrying along the bottom, I've got some Apistogramma McMasteri growing out. Hopefully I can get some pairs of them going and get some of those fry to you all when they do finally breed for me. So if you've been following this channel for any length of time at all, you'll know that the main thing that we keep in our fish room at Prestige Aquatics is these fancy guppies. And they're not just any fancy guppies, we keep the absolute best of the best. And in my opinion, I think that we have one of the top 5 guppy collections in the United States right now. We can't hang with some of these crazy overseas breeders, but we do have a super awesome selection, and it's full of just top quality fish. We're gonna circle back to the guppies, but I just wanted to point out that they are probably my favorite species of fish in the fish room. Probably one of my favorite tanks right now is this 75-gallon Rainbowfish community aquarium. I just recently rescaped this, and after I rescaped it, just had a huge algae bloom, so you see a bunch of algae on the plants, but the fish are absolutely thriving and they love it in here. I've even got some fry grow outs in there. Well, they're not really fry, they're more jubies now, but I've got them all in there, and just everybody's just doing absolutely fantastic. These fish are super personable. I don't know how many of you all keep rainbow fish, but a super personable fish, and I would say it's a great beginner fish. Once you get your water parameters down and everything stabilized, this is a great fish to just encourage you to come and spend time at your fish tank. Here we have one of the coolest tanks in the fish room, and that's because it's holding our wild caught green phantom plecos. There's 9 plecos in here. I've talked about them before in some in the fish room video, in the fish room videos. and they just wouldn't come out for a while, but now they're really settling into the rock work and they really like it, and they're eating their pellets good and some other things really good. Just need to keep them growing out. Eventually I want these guys to breed. That's the purpose of all the caves. You can see one of the tails right there. But right now, just trying to get them to size. So I would say that our number 2 specialty at Prestige Aquatics behind the guppies are Apistogrammas. And most of this rack is South and Central American cichlids, but this whole right side is all Apistogrammas. We keep a ton of species and we have quite a few fry right now, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of our species. Excuse the algae on the glass, guys, but I just wanted to get this fish room tour video to you, and I didn't want to just spoil my creative moment. But these guys are some triple red cockatoo Apistogrammas, and that male is just an absolute stud. He's laid back because he just saw me pull up to the tank, but he is an absolute stud, and the female is not too bad herself. Got some little fry swimming around in here. These guys have bred quite a few times, and I don't know what it is. I keep leaving them in there, but the female will eat the fry over time, and I think she ate quite a few, but there are some fry swimming around. I can see some right here in the front. Well, of course, when I do that, they scurry back, but you can see a couple right there. Anyway, great species of fish here. Really like these Apistos. Here we have our orange flash cockatoo Apistogrammas. And if you've been following us on Instagram or Facebook for any length of time, you're familiar with this fish because Daddy here is probably our mascot, I would say. But they've got a batch of fry in here still swimming around with them that's just sexing out. Probably gonna separate them soon. I'm wanting them to get going on another batch of fry, but they've got them fully raised up now. As you can see, there's a couple stud males in here, like this guy right here. Most of these are spoken for, but if you're interested, I can probably still hold back a pair for you. Just shoot me a message at prestigeaquaticsfish.com or on Instagram or Facebook. Okay, down here we have some opal berylii Apistogrammas, and this male is just an absolute stud. He's still young, but his finnage is just absolutely outrageous how long his fins are. And the female's nice too, but once again, she's young. This is a young pair right here. They actually haven't bred for us yet. They haven't been in the fish room too long, but we're just still growing them out, and we're gonna remain patient and get some of them going. Oh, I say that, and then right here on the video, I see a fry swimming around in the cave. A few fry, wow. And I swear I did not plan that, guys, but just found some fry in here. That's amazing. That means they actually have had a successful spawn, and then they are a compatible pair. First couple spawns are usually small, but give them some time and I bet these guys will be big producers for us. Okay, here's a really cool one that is pretty new to the fish room too. I think I highlighted them in our last In the Fish Room video. These are orange Agassizii Apistogramma, and this male is just an absolute beautiful fish. Just the most crisp lines in his back and just an icy blue in his face. Still hasn't quite come out of his shell. The female usually hangs out in the back, but really wanting to get these guys breeding because, I mean, if you just look at this fish, he's just amazing, amazing quality. And want to get some of these guys to you. Just really want to get our Apistos producing. That's what we are requested the most for besides guppies, and need to get them going and get them out to you all. Okay guys, I apologize for the green water. You can't see them very well, but in here we have some Apistogramma trifasciata, and these came to me really small. Still growing them out, expecting them to get a little bigger before they breed. But this green water will really help them out in their breeding process if we can get them going good. Also in here, you can see the pleco caves. I've got the remaining leopard frog plecos. I moved them into here because I got the green phantoms that you may have seen in some of our other videos, and I put them in the original leopard frog tank. In this messy tank, we have our Viahida Apistogramma. And the male just came out, but usually the female is the one that's less timid. This is a really cool species. has some really deep reds. The female actually has a deeper color than the male, and I see her in the back there behind that coconut. These have not bred for us. I had the female and I had another male, and the male passed suddenly, which I had touched on in another video. But we're trying to get these going and trying to get them breeding. It'd be really nice to get some of these. This is a terribly messy tank. I had a bad algae bloom and it all just came off and is sitting on the bottom. I need to get the gravel back in there. Here we have our red tail Rio Apistogramma, and these guys are just a little bit shy. The male kind of hangs out at the front and the female hangs out in that cave. They've been hanging out in the cave together the last few days, so maybe that means some fries on the way, but we'll just have to see. Really like this fish. They've just got some growing left to do, I think. Sticking with American cichlids, we've got our electric blue acaras in here, and I've had them in here with this Viejas and Spilum, and he's been fine until like a couple days ago, and now you can see him all in the back. He doesn't get too aggressive with them, he just kind of pushes them out of the way. They see me up here, so they're trying to inch forward because they're pretty ravenous themselves. These are probably the nicest electric blue acaras I've ever seen. If one can turn to the side for me, you'll see. They're just an awesome shade of blue, and their finnage is just amazing. That's a male right there, I can tell by his streamer. Trying to get these guys going. I'm definitely gonna move that Vieja out. He's actually growing out for my 600 gallon that I have at my house. Okay, we're gonna move on to some guppies. I'm gonna give you all a quick overview of all the guppies right here, and then we're gonna go and look at each individual tank. Like I said before, these are by far our biggest sellers here at Prestige Aquatics, and we have some of the top quality guppies in the country. Most of these guppy strains are actually American guppies. I specialize more in American guppies, but we have quite a few import strains as well. And as you can see, we just have a million seller stock here on the top. And then we just have most of our breeding pairs down below. But yeah, most of our guppies are American guppies, but we do have some inlers, and also we keep some high quality import styles, but mostly, for the most part, it's American guppies. I'm a big fan of American guppies, and most of our guppies have come from the top breeders in the IFGA. That way we can provide the best quality fish possible. We want our customers to have the best, and to do that, we have to breed the best. So that's where most of these came from, is top quality IFGA breeders. You see here, we got some inlers. And then these are all high quality import styles here. Got some dragons, got a bunch of Dumbos through here. All right, let's look at some of the tanks. Okay, we're gonna do 2 tanks at a time here. On the left, I have the half black greens, and on the right, I have my half black AOCs. These half black greens, I kept most of the original generation. Got some really nice breeder males, like this guy right here. And then a few that are nice, but he's got a split tail, so I wouldn't be able to sell him anyway. It just got split due to an injury, but still a great breeder. I've got a strain of half black AOCs on the right here, and this half black AOC strain threw a bunch of half black purples, so didn't really sell any of them. Just trying to work all that out and select some genetics for them, and then we'll circle back on the next generation. But I don't want to sell you all anything that's going to throw some crazy mutations. Okay, on the left, I've got a half black purple strain, and these are just a few of the half black purples. Got a few other tanks of them. And then on the right, I've got some full reds. These full reds have been huge sellers for me lately. As you can see, I've been holding on to these ones with these split tails. Those happened after they were born. It's not a genetic mutation. It would be a shame to waste them because they really do have great color and finnage. So I'm gonna hold on to those as breeders and trying to get the rest out to you all. Okay, here we have 2 of my favorite strains in the fish room. On the left, we've got some blue-green bicolors, and you can see there's one like stud male there. Probably going to hold on to him for the next generation. I'm really just trying to get my numbers up of them. I've got a couple tanks of them right now, so they're doing pretty good. On the right, we have another one of my favorites. These are the red bicolors, and they've just got an awesome pattern. You can't see too well in this light, but they're blue all the way down their body, and then they have that red bicolor pattern on their back. Probably the nicest red bicolors I've ever seen. They've been huge sellers. Most of what I have there is breeding stock for the next generation. Another two of my favorite strains in the fish room are right here, and on the left we have our purples, and on the right we have our blues. You really have to watch these fish. The purples that I have, this is just one of the groups, but it'll sometimes throw a blue like that. Looks like a blue to me. But the blues here breed true, and they are probably the nicest blues I've ever seen. I paid top dollar for the breed stock of them, and I'm probably in my second or third generation of them. I can't even remember at this point. But as you can see, I've got a ton of females and some super stud males. I've got the blues listed as available right now. If you order from me, what you'll see is what you get here. Just some awesome, awesome, awesome blue males and females. Okay, on the left, we have some AOC bicolor cobras, and on the right, we have some tiger mosaic half moons. These half moons didn't breed too good for me the first generation. I think I actually said that I was gonna go away from them in future generations. I decided to hold on to them, and I've been getting a lot better results in the next few generations after that. Just really had to cull out some bad genes, and I think I'm on the right track now. I have never sold any of them. I've just been trying to get the strain right. And then these cobras are awesome. I've only got a couple males in there just trying to breed all these females, but as you can see, they're producing some fry, and I've got them listed as available too. So if you do order, you'll get one of these stud males from me. Probably the two biggest seller guppies we've had so far are these two strains, and they're the Dumbo Santas on the left, which I've really got them dialed in right now. The genetics are just top quality on them. And then on the right, I have some red mosaics. I don't have too many red mosaic females. I really sold a lot of trios of them on the front end, and I wish that I would have held some back, but in this Dumbo Santas, I only have like 4 or 5 males, and I've got like 100 females. So probably gonna have some insane numbers of these guys going forward. Just an awesome guppy. I mean, you just don't get any nicer than this as far as import style goes, but really got them dialed in and got the genetics just right now. I really like how these males look, and I selected the best females, and the results speak for themselves. Okay, we're gonna go through and look at some of our breeding groups. Sorry about the algae on this glass. But right here, we've got an awesome half black blue male, and we've got some half black females. I sourced these half black blue females from a few different breeders, so we should have a really deep genetic pool once these do finally produce. You can see a fry or two swimming around in the top. Usually what I found with these American style guppies is that they'll drop a few on their first drop, and then their second, third, and fourth drops will be their big drops. Next, we have these awesome half black AOCs, and got some really nice ones in here. Probably gonna cull Big Boy out here and move him to the mutt guppy tank. But he was nice at one point, but he's just getting a little old now. Just got some really nice young males. Trying to get these going like I had them going before all the half black purple throws. Now I've kind of got them selected out and got some good genetics going. So we have some more half black purples and some full reds here. These half black purples, I really just selected some of the nicest females I could find and 1 or 2 really nice males, and just trying to get a huge colony going to them here. I've left the rest up top, but want to get them going, and they've been a really big seller, so want to get some numbers of them. And then we've got some full reds, got some really nice young males in here, wanting to breed these females. And then I've got the old dad there, and he's still going strong. He's probably damn near a year old now. So, but still a really nice fish. So I had some red bicolors on this tank on the right, but I actually just moved them. Now I've just got fish on this tank on the left. And this is probably my favorite guppy in the fish room. He's getting old now, but this is the blue-green bicolor. You saw some of the his offspring up top, but just an awesome fish. I mean, just look at that color and that tail. I mean, he's just got one of the nicest tails I've ever seen. But been a huge producer for us, lived a great life, and now he's just in the retirement home, just kind of chilling. I'm not gonna move him out of this tank. I want him to just finish out his life in this tank. Got quite a few fry swimming around in here, and some nice young males swimming around in here. So that stud male up top better watch out, because we got some coming for the throne. Of course, the pandas aren't gonna cooperate here, but on the left we have some dwarf pandas, and they're okay. I'm not a huge fan of dwarf guppies, but a lot of you all were requesting them, so I wanted to get at least a strain of the dwarf pandas going. And then on the right, we've got some yellow tiger endlers, and we had one female and or two females and one male, and then all of a sudden we had a bunch. So I found that these endlers just reproduce so fast, and that the fry actually reach breeding size within like the first month and a half. They do have a shortened lifespan, but they turn fry out so fast that you can really get a good colony going quick. Whenever you do buy them from us, I try to send them at this small size, because you really don't have much time with them to breed. Okay, on the left here, we have a strain that I'm really excited about. We've got some half black AOC leopards, and we'll see if I can get the light on them. They're just another type of half black AOC, but really awesome fish. Want to get them going and get a bunch of breeding going and some fry going from them. I think that they're going to be one of our most popular sellers. And then I've got a reverse trio here of some half black purples. The breeder actually sent an extra male instead of a female, which this happens with this strain. I don't know what it is about them, but they just sex out so late. I've done that too, and I never do that. I can always sex a guppy. I use the peduncle method to sex them. And I don't know what it is about these half black purples, but they don't develop that peduncle, the males don't, until super late, almost after when you'd like to ship the fish. So I don't fault the breeder at all for that. It's just what happened. I'm probably gonna take one of those out and move him to another half black purple tank. Okay, we have a group of purples on the left and we have a group of blues on the right. This purple almost looks like a blue to me, but my purple strain will throw blues as well. So I think it was bred as a purple. The females will probably produce mostly purples, but that looks like a blue to me. We'll breed them and we'll see what they look like. Probably won't sell many of those. They'll probably go in the pond. I want them to breed true for you all when you get them. So if there's any question about it, I just err on the side of caution. Still really top quality fish. And then we've got a group of blues here on the right. And of course the male doesn't cooperate when I point the camera over here, but he's an absolute stud. There he is in the back. And that is a true blue right there. So we'll know that when we get the fry from them, they'll be true blues. I want the blues. I know I've got a lot going right now, but I want to do a genetic swap with them so that we have some really deep genetics with our blues. And I'm comfortable doing it with that blue male and those blue females. Okay, we have some somewhat young trios here. On the left, we have some Schubel greens. And on the right, we have some Moscow bicolors. I wish this Schubel green and the Moscow bicolor males would come out. I think they're chasing the females back there in the back right now, but these are probably two of my favorite guppy strains in the fish room. This is the first generation raising out. We've probably had them a couple months now, and this is the result. We've got a ton of guppy fry in here, and you can see the male back there in the back. He's just an absolute stud. And then you can maybe see the Moscow bicolor male. He's just chilling back there in the back left. Maybe he'll pop up and you can see how awesome he is as well. These are just a couple great strains. really looking forward to getting these out to you all. Most of the rest of the guppies here are high quality import style guppies. On the left, we have some red grass metalheads, which probably some of my favorite import guppies of all time. They're still pretty young. They've produced one batch of fry for us, but you can see that male dancing. He's looking for more. And then on the right, we've got some blue galaxies. I just don't know about these blue galaxies. They're super cool, but they produce a lot of culls, and I just don't know if it's worth it going forward to keep pursuing this line. If you all think I should keep pursuing this blue galaxy line, if you like them and want me to, why don't you leave a comment down below. Two of my favorite tanks in the fish room are right next to each other here. On the left, we have the black Moscow guppies, and they're just standard black Moscows. They're actually probably a little higher quality than most of the black Moscows. You see I got an old female there, her back starting to get hunched over, but got the next generation coming up. They've been big sellers. And then on the right, we have these awesome Japan blue-red double sword endlers. And we do keep quite a few endlers around the fish room, but I gotta say, these are probably my favorite. Sold a bunch of them as well. As you can see, I've got a ton available though. So if you're interested in any of these, leave a comment down below or feel free to message me on Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to get some of these to you all and we'll get you a good deal on them. Okay, on the left, we have some Dumbo red mosaics. Really nice fish, but from the same place, came to us too old and haven't produced for us at all. And they're in that green water, so they really should be producing. It's just a shame when you buy guppies and they come too old to breed. And there's one or two fry in there, but you won't ever get that from us. We always send out nice young breeding stock, and we want you all to get every single drop that guppy's gonna have. So we try to send our guppies out at around 4 months old, anywhere in the 3 to 5 month range. On the right, we have some Dumbo red tails, and I'm pretty sure these are just platinum red tail big ears, and they're just sold under a different name because they look exactly like the rest of my platinum red tail big ears. The last breeding trio we have are these greens, and these are American greens. Really nice young male here. Hopefully we're gonna have them produce here soon. I haven't seen any fry in this tank, but looking forward about any day now. The females look pretty big pregnant. So at Prestige Aquatics, we don't keep a ton of African cichlids. We do keep some shell dwellers and some Tanganyikan cichlids, but as far as Lake Malawi fish go, we don't have many, but we do have this 90-gallon display aquarium, and it's a little dirty, but we really like this tank, and this just has some male peacocks in it. Got the starter pack from Imperial Tropicals, and this is what they sent me, and really pretty happy with it. A lot of the males are washed out because there's a few dominant fish in here, but really getting big and starting to show a lot of personality, and they're absolutely savage. They'll about jump out of the tank at you. Okay, here we have a big old community of some Neolamprologus multifasciatus or multi-shell dwellers. Got a ton of babies all the way through this tank. They're really nasty right now on the glass, but you can see some of the awesome males. I'm trying to get a good shot of them without spooking them. They dart back to those shells pretty quick, but still awesome fish. Trying to get their numbers up and get enough adults to where we can start getting some to you all, but as of right now, just still trying to boost their numbers. If you needed like less than 10, I could probably do them, but they'll be one of these juvie sizes. Here we have some Neolamprologus burchardi, and these are some of my favorite shell dwellers, probably my favorite shell dweller ever. And it's because they just let their fry just kind of do their own thing and don't bother them. You can see fry swimming all over the moss right there. Just a really cool looking fish. One of my friends said that they look like little Johnny Bravo looking fish. Shout out Tyler, and that could not be more true. They look just like a little Johnny Bravo. But they're nice and calm, unlike Johnny Bravo. They're cool like him, but really, really awesome fish, and looking forward to getting these grown out and getting them to you. Here we've got some rams, some more micro cichlids. On the left we have some electric blue rams, and on the right we have some gold rams. Had a couple of batches of eggs out of these, but nothing fertile yet. I think they're just still kind of learning what to do. These are super nice electric blue rams, and we've had them for quite a while, but they've just still been growing out. Looks like this guy's the dom in the front because the rest of them are hiding from him, and he's kind of staked out his territory. Maybe he can lure a female in up here. And then on the right, we've got some gold rams, which they have not paired up like that, and none of them have really established dominance. Hopefully we'll get one to establish dominance and lure a female in and lay on one of these rocks. So in our fish room, we keep a bunch of Tetras on hand at any time. We just kind of do this so that we can provide you a little splash of color with any kind of centerpiece fish you get, like Apistogrammas or any kind of cichlids or anything like that. Want to be able to provide you with a little extra splash of color. We'll go through and we'll talk about each species, but this is what we got going right now. First up, we have the black phantom Tetras, and these are probably my favorite Tetras of all time. That's why I got so many of them. But haven't had anyone buy any of these. I don't know what the deal is. We have a lot of Tetras flying off the shelves, and these have not been bought. We've got a couple of these emperors that jump from the other tank into here, but for the most part, black phantom Tetras. So here we have some of the coolest Tetras in the fish room. These are emperor Tetras, and they're fired up right now. They just got a water change a minute ago. They get some crazy color. These are probably the most aggressive Tetras we keep, and little Neon jumped in there, poor thing. These Tetras are big jumpers, so they kind of jump from tank to tank. Here we have some Neon Tetras, just an absolute staple of any fish room. Haven't had many sell of these either. I guess if you're gonna buy Neon Tetras, you can go down to your local PetSmart and get your ick spotted Neon Tetras, but we got some really nice healthy ones here, so if you're in the market, go ahead and give us a shout. And here we have some Ember Tetras. They really like the dark, so they pretty much hang out back there in the back in the dark as much as they can. I think most Tetras are really blackwater species, so they prefer the dark, but I like to see them, so I've got these big bright lights on everybody. In this tank, we've got some Serpae Tetras, and something that I've observed about Serpae Tetras that I didn't know is they really like to hang out close to the bottom. And I don't know what the deal is there, but I think they're just lower column Tetras. They just kind of chill close to the bottom, swim around, and they're doing fine, I mean, but they just like it toward the bottom. Another really cool Tetra species we have in the fish room are these penguin Tetras. And these are a lot bigger than your standard Tetra, but they're not like crazy active. They just really try to stay in a tight school. They're almost full grown, I think, but some of them can get up to 3 and 4 inches is what I've read. We'll see if they get that big before we get them sold. Then last, we have these green fire Tetras. This is a Tetra species that I didn't even know existed, but a really cool species. And when they got sent to me, one threadfin rainbow got sent as well, as you can see him right here. But one of those got sent. I guess he was just in the tank next to him. Here we have our breeding group of our Peacock rainbows, or our dwarf neon rainbowfish. Had a ton of hornwort in here, and their bacterial infection popped up on one of the fish, and we treated with Furan 2. And as I stated in our last fish room video, Furan 2 is about the hardest thing ever on these aquarium plants. Killed every single bit of hornwort, all shut off, cleaned most of it off, but still quite a bit in the tank. Probably gonna get them some cover, and might just get them a couple spawning mops and start pulling some fry. These couple tanks are just some miscellaneous fry tanks for some rainbow fish. Had some turquoise rainbows on the left and have some millenniums on the right. I pulled most of the turquoise rainbows out, and I put them in the community rainbow fish tank that we looked at earlier. And I'm probably about to do the same for the millenniums on the right. Got a couple of Apistogrammas in there on the right as well. Can't remember which species, but got a pair of them in there. Next to them, we have some Livebearers. We've got some swordtails on the 2 tanks on the left, and then on the right, we've got some tangerine lyre-tail mollies. These on the left are imperial koi swordtails. Really nice swordtails. I stated this in the last fish room video. I just don't know how I feel about swordtails. They're just kind of okay, I think. Then we got some sky blue swordtails in the middle. Got some crazy green water going on. Was thinking that might help them breed since they are pretty aggressive toward their fry. And then we've got some tangerine lyre-tail mollies right here, and it has been helping them breed because you see some fry swimming around in the front there. We keep a few species of barbs in the fish room, and they're just kind of like the tetras, just kind of some supplemental fish to go along with any fish you might buy from us. We want you to have a full tank and be able to come to us for just kind of like a one-stop shop. But got some awesome cherry barbs here, some of the reddest cherry barbs I've ever seen, as well as some crazy green water. Maybe we'll have some fry in there with all this green water. And then if you move down here, we've got some really nice Odessa barbs. And I'm a big fan of Odessa barbs. I've been keeping them forever. But I just think they're a really crazy cool fish, especially the males. And then the females have really cool finnage, but not as much color. These are really aggressive barbs in my experience, like more aggressive than tiger barbs and most other barbs. So if you are gonna keep these, I'd recommend keeping them alone. And then we got some tiger barbs, everybody's favorite. And you know, they're just tiger barbs, just typical awesome stripes, awesome colors, awesome finnage. Nice little cheap aquarium fish. And then we've got one of these Neolamprologus lelupi in here that jumped from the tank on the left. So I got an algae mess right here, but I wanted to show you all some of my Oscars. Got some Oscars growing out for my 600 gallon. I've got them listed as for sale. I'll ship them to you if you want, but really the reason I got them was to grow out for my 600 gallon. And they're doing really good, really getting big fast. You know how Oscars are, that you buy them and they're dime size and then they're dang 6-8 inches by the time you're 2 months old. So that's just how they are, but they're doing good, just in this really nasty algae mess of a tank. Next to them, I'm keeping some stir-bag quarries. Really like these stir-bag quarries. Had always tried to get them and they were always super sickly. But got some from Seagrass and they've just been really healthy and good, which is surprising as far as the species goes. Probably got about 25 of them in here. They've got the water stirred up. It's just nasty looking in there, but they just constantly stir that stuff up. I need to get in there and do a little gravel back. I think they like sifting around through it, so I try to leave it alone when I can, but they probably need to gravel back soon. Here we've kind of got just a little catch-all tank. I'm keeping a bunch of male guppies in here. Whenever I've got too many males in a tank and not enough females, I'll usually just drop them in here. It's just kind of a display tank. The plants aren't doing great, but they're doing okay. Got some really nice male guppies in here. And then got some platies in here, some painted platies. Used to keep an angelfish in here, but since she's moved out. In this green mess right here, we're keeping our rainbow tiger endlers. And I don't know how long it's been, but we've had this green water going in this tank for a long time now. And it's just made this population explode. There's just a ton of fish in there. And also I got some blue dream shrimp and it's made their population explode, as you can see them swimming along here. The only thing I don't like about the green water is it makes it harder for me to cull shrimp because I cannot see them as well. But it has made their population explode. Once the green water clears up, I got a UV sterilizer in there. It's not running right now, but when I do clean the water up, I'm gonna cull some shrimp and then I'll probably let the green water go again because the results speak for themselves. Right below them, we've got some more endlers going in another green water tank. These are the Japan blue gold double sword endlers, and They've been thriving in here as well. Haven't got quite the numbers that we wanted to out of them. Maybe the screen water will help them along. Got quite a few fry in there, but they're just some awesome fish. Really need to get them going so we can get some of them out to you all. Right next to the inlayers, we've just got a little angelfish tank, and these are just some old angelfish that I had. I've grown these out since they were little bitty and don't really have another place for them. Really want to get like a 125 going for them or something. That's what they used to be in, but Tank's place wouldn't allow it at the time, so they got moved into this 40, and they really need a bigger home, so I'm working on that currently. Probably the next time we do the fish room video, they'll be in a 125. Here is our 300-gallon fancy guppy mutt pond, and we've got a really great video on this. I've got the filters turned off right now, but we've got a really great video on this pond. I'll link it somewhere up in the corner here. You should really go check it out. You can see all the guppies that are in the pond in the video, and you can always order some mutt guppies from us. I think I sell them at about $3 a piece, so would love to get you some mutt guppies. They're all coming out of this pond. So if you haven't seen our automatic water change video, it's worth a watch, but just real quickly, this is our automatic water change system plumbing. All this fish room is on automatic water change. Every tank is plumbed and drilled. And this is the manifold back here. So on this side right here, we've got our manual system. So I can just open one of these valves and it'll start flowing in one of the zones. And then on the left, we've got it all attached to solenoids so that when we get some Wi-Fi in here, we can just run a water change straight from the house. Gonna be fully automatic, but right now we're just using the old manual. It takes less than an hour to do a full water change on the fish room. So some real quick future plans for Prestige Aquatics. We're gonna fill out the rest of this side of this mega rack. Need about 20 more 10-gallon tanks, I think. I've already got them ordered and they're in. I just gotta go pick them up, get them all drilled and plumbed, and get them hooked up to this automatic water change system. And then if we turn here, since the last time, we used to have a curtain here, but we actually have a wall here now. You can see my car over there. But we got a wall here now, and gonna do a full new HVAC unit in this side of the fish room. And we've got a new rack that we built. This is a 40-gallon breeder rack, and it's gonna hold 9 on this side, and it's gonna hold 9 on the other side. So we're gonna add 18 40 breeders to this fish room. Really trying to expand. Our demand has been super high lately. Thank you all so much for all your business. It's just been so rewarding to put in all this work on the front end and actually have customers who enjoy our products. Just been really rewarding. And on that note, guys, if you ever need anything, pretty much everything you saw is for sale in this video, except for maybe some of our breeding groups. If you never need anything fish related, we can probably get our hands on it. We're a vendor for Seagrass Farms, the biggest fish farm in the country. We place custom orders about once a month. If you're looking for anything, just reach out. We'd love to get you hooked up with the fish that you want. It doesn't matter what it is, just reach out and say, hey, can you get this? And I'll tell you pretty quick if I can or can't get it, and I'll give you a price on it. Would love to get you hooked up with any fish that you want. It's really just feels like a blessing to be able to do that, and to be at this point in our careers where we can supply about any fish. We keep all these fish on hand because this is what we like and this is what most of our customers are demanding. But as far as being personable and being able to personalize your order, we can get about anything. We place an order about once a month. So just reach out. We'd love to help you with any inquiry you have. And on that note, at Prestige Aquatics, we ship fish all over the country. There's pretty much nowhere you can be in the country that we won't ship to. And we ship everything in these coolers, really high quality, nice coolers. Keep your fish either warm or cold during their transit. We really like to ship during the winter more than the summer. We definitely don't want the fish to be hot, but we can ship fish all over the country, and we'll pack everything up at our workbench right here. It's a dang mess right now, but just wanted to go ahead and show you what we got. It might not be pretty, but it's the most functional workbench I've ever seen. We can pack up some fish in a hurry here, so don't hesitate to reach out. We want to do business with you and we want to work for you. Anything we can help you with, let us know. There you have it, guys. Clint and Ryan signing off with Prestige Aquatics. I hope you enjoyed this fish room tour. If you made it all the way to the end, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know that you like this video if you watched it all the way through. We pump out awesome fish content all the time. Me and Ryan goofing off in the fish room, having a great time, shipping fish, doing what we love. This is our passion and this is what we want to do. As a business, we got a little bit farther to get there as far as doing it day to day. But for right now, we're making it work and we just love what we do. So go ahead, support us, like and subscribe. If that's all you want to support us, that's fine. But we'd love to get you some fish. Go ahead and order your next order from us. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Yeah, what Clint said.